make it order me pizzas, and then we might be in business here.
I
Maybe.
agree. I agree. I mean, we got to put that Pizza Hut app to some use. And that was, I mean, I guess we can comment to the next point of where, Microsoft is getting away from the gamers. They actually, have already stated that the Xbox One will not be backwards compatible. That means accessories, which is controllers, the original Kinect, games, disc-based Xbox Live Arcade, and Xbox Live Indie games will not be playable on it. Which means even if you do cross over your gamer tag, even if that is possible, what is kind of the point outside of carrying over your gamer tag?
Yeah, because, I mean, what's the point of keeping all the games in? Or what's to get me to buy any more, if, like, new stuff, if it's not going to carry over in the next system?
Yeah.
Why am I going to waste my money on a system that's not going to carry over?
And I want to know what's going to happen, say, with all of my favorite 360 games. Are they going to remake them for the Xbox One, or am I going to have both Xboxes plugged in at the same time just in case I want to play something that's only on the 360 or something that's only on the One?
Yeah.
And then there's what they did with the original Xbox. They cut off the online support for it.
Yeah, they completely dropped that within 2 years. I mean, is that the future of the 360 in the next 2 years? Which would get rid of Xbox Live Arcade downloads, DLC, anything like that, which would make, certain games completely unplayable. On top of that, you have Happy Wars, Defiance, that just came out.
Yeah.
Don't forget Call of Duty, because who the fuck plays COD for the single player?
Exactly. And games like Halo that are multiplayer based. You have
or even Halo Wars. I personally love playing Halo Wars, but it's not fun to play by yourself.
No.
Exactly.
I mean, it's especially fun to get 3 people and even just go up against legendary AI just to mess around. But it still doesn't come up to the 3-on-3 online matches, which is just fantastic and stressful, and you'll sit there and you'll throw your controller and you'll cuss and bitch the whole damn time. But it is a blast.
And that's kind of what makes me a little worried. I mean, is the 360 going to become completely obsolete? Is it really, Ricky was saying earlier, Caboose was saying, I already have a doorstop. I don't need another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sucks, I mean, I buy games. I've got shelves full of games. I go out and collect. I spend my money, which is actually something else we're going to get into in just a few here. I should be able to do what I want with my game, and I should have full access to my game that I paid $60 for.
Yes.
Yeah.
I should
Go ahead.
I should be able to do whatever I want. I should be able to turn around and sell it or keep it in my collection, and 10 years down the road say, hey, you know what? I loved Mass Effect. Let's play that shit through again.
Exactly.
And
I don't want to have permission to play my game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that kind of brings up the point that I think you were about to go into. What exactly, are we going to do about used games? Because you may not pay $60 for a game, but just because it's not $60 for a brand new game, does that make it any less valuable? Does it mean that you didn't work just as hard for your money? And now, on top of buying the game itself, they're talking about having pre-owned games. You have to buy like a code or something in order to be able to play it if it belonged to somebody else. And that's just stupid. because I already spent my money on this game. I don't need to go spend more money on a game. I might as well have bought the new one if I'm going to just spend a bunch of money on a game.
Yeah.
And they're being really quiet about how much this will all cost. They're not saying anything. And things that they've announced is there's not going to be any kind of cross-platform play. So if they release Halo 5 on both systems, multiplayer won't work in between the two systems.
So if I'm on the 360 and you're on the one, we can't play together.
Exactly. And like you said, I mean, with the whole pre-owned games thing, I mean, the big fact of it is, I mean, if I pay $60 game, and I have a couple of games that I've beaten through, and I know I won't go back to, there's no replay value. You see the story, you're done with it. I should be able to take that game, go to a store, get some amount of credit back, and be able to buy another new game to enjoy.
Yeah.
And take that home with me. Or I should be able to say, hey, this is my $60 game. You want to play it? Here you go.
Yeah, because I've actually borrowed games from friends to find out if I like it or not. And then if I like it, I go out and buy it. But I'm not going to sit there and pay like $60 for a $60 game that I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
Not to mention, this could possibly destroy companies like GameFly, or
Yes.
even I know Blockbuster's having a hard time right now, but Blockbuster, they have their own game rental stuff, and this could completely destroy companies like that who they make money by you renting games.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Redbox. Redbox is just now getting Steam, and it's steamrolling over companies like Blockbuster, and Blockbuster even tried to do their own thing with the blue boxes, or whatever they were calling them. And, I mean...
The only blue box I want to see is a TARDIS, I'm sorry.
But, I mean, they were attempting and all of that, but people who do still go to Blockbuster go into the, the brick and mortar stores. And it's just... and more ultimately, it's going to really affect GameStop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, they thrive on buying and selling games.
Yeah.
That's how they make their money. I know that for a fact. That's how they make their money.
Yeah, I mean, that's how they stay in business. They don't make enough profit on new games. They comes from the pre-owned games. And it's almost as if... I mean, it's almost as if they don't, none of these companies remember that 15, 20 years ago we were going into Sears to buy our games.
Yeah.
And I don't know about y'all, but when was the last time you went into a Walmart and got an enjoyable experience buying a game or anything from electronics just in general? I mean, you're generally sitting there.
It's been a while.
You're generally sitting there waiting for somebody. When you finally get it, it's some 80-year-old woman who, you say you want Halo, and then she comes up and pulls you Boom Blocks for the Wii.
Yeah.
Or some, I've seen the kids that look like they're 10 years old and can barely even reach the spot where the key's supposed to go into to unlock it to get your game, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also the other thing. I fully agree with the ESRB. And Walmart doesn't check it. Best Buy, I sure as hell know they don't check it.
I know the Walmart near my house does occasionally, depending on who's working.
And that shouldn't be the case. I mean, with games now where they're, they've gotten to a point, it's, that shouldn't be an issue. GameStop does push the ESRB. And, I mean, they're just trying to put them out of business right now, and that's what it seems like.
Well, ultimately,